We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
We'll be so famous that we'll have to say no to him. Have you ever said no?
Sherry, Anne-Marie, you're on in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hi, I'm Sherry Belafonte.
And I'm Anne-Marie Johnson. And now, the Daily Schmooze. Well,
Everybody get funky.
everybody get funky.
Ow!
That's like James Brown came back.
I swear.
I love it.
It's good, right?
And she is.
I'm Sherry Belafonte.
And I'm Anne-Marie Johnson.
And
this is the Daily Schmooze. And this is our
first. And the people rejoice.
Thank you very much. There's a very large crowd outside. It's frightening. How'd they know?
You know what? There's a smaller crowd in here. Yay! We're just going to have to keep having them come back every
I just
week,
want
right?
people applauding me even when I don't do anything.
And you know I do.
I know, and that's why I'm here with you. Well, welcome everybody. This is our first.
And hopefully not our last.
No, but this is our first show. We're honored to be here. We're honored to be at LA Talk Live.
That's
and I appreciate you, Sherry, reaching out to me and saying, hey, let's just be silly on a transmedia type of format.
We're just going to have to keep having all those people come back every week.
Yeah,
right?
I think I rent them out.
You know, this is really a first in so many ways, because aside from the fact that it's a live radio show, I mean, there have been other live radio shows before, but this is we're a SAG contract. We love that we are a union group.
That's right.
We're not making an enormous amount of money, but it's a really great push forward for our union.
Yes, our union.
For LA Talk Live. I think they're excited about it.
We're very excited about them. Yeah.
And, it's just shape of things to come.
It is the shape of things to come. And what makes us different from other people is that we've been it, we've walked it, we've done it, we've seen it. We have different perspectives on a lot of issues. Sometimes we see eye to eye on a lot of issues. My good eye.
My good eye.
But Sherry and I have known each other. We've been competitors for the same roles. We've been friends.
And Anne-Marie always got them.
No, not necessarily. When they went sexy, you got them. When they went goofy, I got them. Our husbands have been friends for 30 years or so.
Before us.
Are we friends yet?
We're still.
Okay, so we're still friends.
We will be after
this. We will be. We have to be. So it was kind of like a wonderful combination to say, you know what? This is what we believe may be missing from certain radio, transmedia, television, and people kind of like us. A lot of people may not like us. A lot of people...
All the more reason for them to tune in.
That's right. They'll get a different perspective that we're just not... actors, that we have legitimate opinions.
Well, I'm going to take a line from Victor Mature. Victor Mature wanted to go to, I think it was the Riviera Country Club. Mm-hmm. And after playing golf at this country club, he went to the manager and said, I'd like to join this club. And the manager said, I'm sorry, we don't have your kind here. And he said, what do you mean? This is back in the 40s, I think. He said, we don't allow actors. He said, I'm not an actor, and I have 52 films to prove it. So while Anne-Marie is an actor, I have had some stabs at acting, and I always love it.
Come on.
But I always thought that I was a chatty Cathy and a production person. I lit this place.
Yes, you did. And you did a beautiful job.
Did I do a good job?
We need, once we tell folks how to get in contact with us and where we are, one question we should ask them: how do we look?
Yeah.
Because,
especially on the internet, because you look different on everybody's
I know. Well, everyone's screen is different, but
right.
we're vain. We have egos. We're actresses. She's an actress. In a weird way, you've always been known as the pretty face, the top 50 beautiful women in the business, and I've never been associated with beauty, but
that's just not
my mom
true.
And dad thought I was really cute.
I think you're really cute.
Well, I appreciate that.
You think I would have somebody ugly sitting next to me?
Well, yeah, to make you look better. That's Hollywood.
The good news about being over 50
yes.
is that you kind of give a lot of that stuff up.
I think, that, along with a million other topics, that should be one of our topics, because we're hoping that women of a certain age will be tuning in and relating to what we're going through as women of a certain age. And in this industry, women of a certain age become,
transmedia.
That's
like
so
stars.
Basically, that's why we're here. Because we were too old.
Too old.
To get
well, the thing is, and I knock on wood on whether I think we're both still young enough that we don't look like moms.
Just young, and not that there's anything with looking like a mom.
No, we can. No. That's what I'm saying. Quote unquote, what Hollywood's mother image is supposed to be.
Well,
we can be aunts. We can be aunts.
We can be the crazy aunt. In fact, one of the guests that we have coming up, I played their crazy aunt in a television pilot. But I mean, Hollywood is so warped with their sense of what age really is,
That's true.
and so
they're coming around in some things.
Yeah, they're changing.
But
they're
slowly.
changing. But those will be one of our topics. We're going to be your entertainment go-to, current news, current trends, sports, music,
arts and entertainment,
advice.
Classified.
Yeah,
I'm even going to hit the obits once in a while.
Well, what? Speaking of the obits, let's hit on that for a second, because not only was it the anniversary of Marilyn Monroe's death 50 years ago yesterday, although I always thought she was a marginal talent at best, but it's nice that we honor the iconic figures of Hollywood, whatnot. But we also had the passing of Gore Vidal, and you had a special.
I was very lucky in that I got to interview him. I did a show for PBS years ago called First Edition, and Charlie Rose was a co-host. And we were interviewing writers. Mm-hmm. And all the time, the books would come in. I'd read the book in a week and, get on to whoever I was interviewing. And then the producers came to me and said, all right, Gore Vidal is coming in. You interview him because Charlie's going to be. I said, yeah, not a problem. I'd never read any of Gore's books. So I picked up a couple of the books. I got stuck on the first page. I could not get through it. It
very
was
heavy.
So heavy. And so just I had to look up every other word.
Yeah.
And I, graduated top of Carnegie Mellon.
Pittsburgh.
Woohoo, go Steelers. And I'm not an idiot.
No.
But had such a tough time getting through this book, and I called the producer. I went, panicky, what do I do? And I said, you know what? I'm going to pick up the short stories because I know I can get through a couple of the short stories.
Sure.
Same thing. I was sweating bullets thinking, because he's not an easy interview and doesn't like stupid.
No.
Did not like stupid.
No.
So the first thing, she said, are you going to be okay? What do we do? We can't cancel this. I said, no, I'll figure it out. And I actually started off the interview by saying, what does it say for American society that I, someone who with a 4.0, graduated top of my class, find it difficult to get through your book?
Brilliant question.
And I said, it's and he kind of cocked his head and he said, he said, it's fascinating. And he got this big smile on his face. And I don't even remember what he said after that. All I know is he was smiling.
Because he was using words you didn't understand anyway.
But I just felt like, oh, my God, I got through this. And his good friend who was working with him, whose name I forget, but it was his lover, I think, for years and years.
25 years he had the same.
They were together that long. And he patted me on the back. He said, Gore loves you. You can come to the house in Italy whenever you want to.
Did you?
I didn't.
No.
Well, silly me.
I can't now.
No,
you can't now.
I missed that boat.
Anyway. For those listeners, viewers who are old enough to remember the Dick Cavett show, right. Gore Vidal had a wonderful ongoing love-hate relationship with William F. Buckley. And if anyone can go on the internet and find when Gore Vidal just really played the dozens like a black man, and he just, with a thesaurus, and he just really nailed it to William F. Buckley, who needed nailing at the time. And it's just a phenomenal, so all hats to Gore Vidal. He was, I loved his nonfiction more than his fiction. Right. Just a phenomenal American icon. And he said something really interesting when I think they were comparing him to the great novelists, the great literature kings of all time, and he said he's a dying breed, and he's right. We don't have that type of
I don't think so, right?
Just iconic figure where everybody knew Gore Vidal, whether you agreed with him or not,
whether you could read his books
or whether like you could understand. But I mean, we just don't have that anymore. Anyway, all hats to Gore Vidal and all the others. We're going to be honoring all the other notable and not so notable folks who pass on to the great, big, whatever it is or whatever you believe. But
McDonald's in the sky.
Oh, okay. Or that, hey, that's a good product placement. You got to be careful with that.
Like free cheeseburgers.
Let's just hope it's not Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Right. Ooh.
Anyway,
another note.
What I want to do is I want you guys to listen to this wonderful music by these wonderful young women who are here today. We're going to speak to them in about a minute, but take a listen to this. The Triple J Plus sisters, and they're fabulous.
Out of Nigeria.
Follow me slow, don't be in a hurry. Your destiny ain't running, it's you, it's away. And
as the sky. Cause we are a nation, a special visitation, a presence and location, a righteous invasion. Few years from now, we'll be tapping all the stations. This is the city of angels.
Wonderful. Well,
You guys,
welcome. Isn't that great?
Fabulous.
All right, I'm gonna introduce you in order. We have Jessie,
Yes.
Jemmy,
Yeah.
Jael. Welcome, the Demina
Thank
sisters,
you.
the Triple J Plus from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Well, go on with your African self. Anyway, I'm so glad you ladies are here for our first show.
Our first show.
And you'll
have to come back in 20 years for our last show.
I'll make a very quick plug. They are entering the world of television here in the States, and you did a pilot plus 5 episodes of the show.
You've already done 6 shows already?
Yeah, 6 episodes.
Man.
It's the Triple J Plus project, but I'm sure it'll probably be called City of Angels. If you were smart, you'd call it City of Angels. Anyway, I got to play your zany aunt Jazz. So, ladies, welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
So, okay, let's talk about let's ask the most typical question, okay? What's it like coming from, now I know you spent some time abroad beyond Nigeria. You were in London, but what's it like being here? What
is this your first trip here?
No, not the first.
Oh, I didn't know that. When was the first time you guys were here? Your ladies were here?
A few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So what's your favorite thing about Los Angeles?
Other than being television
Well, the sun.
stars.
Right. Well, the beach.
Yes.
The beach,
Yes.
sun, shopping.
Does it really bother you when it's really hot and someone actually says it's Africa hot? Because it really isn't Africa hot.
It
Does that bother you?
It does. I'm like,
A little.
no,
Yeah.
it's not.
You don't know that type of hot. Because what is Africa hot?
Have you been to Africa?
You know what?
I've been to Africa.
You've been to Africa. I've never been to Africa. So what is Africa hot?
It's actually humid. Like you actually sweat when you're under the sun. But the sun here in America actually burns you. Like it burns even my skin. And
Wow.
I think that's what causes cancer and stuff. Because ours, you just sweat it off.
Right.
And it goes right off your body. So
So ours is, although we kind of think
It's
we have-
America hot.
Yeah, this is
Or melanoma hot.
I was gonna say this is melanoma hot. So, little one, Jael, I wanna ask you an intro that everyone wants to know. Now, you guys are known all over the continent of Africa. Do you know how many people don't know Africa is a continent? I mean,
a former almost vice president probably was one of them.
yeah.
Right?
I think you're correct. But being from Nigeria, this is a very important question for you. What is your favorite food? What do you like to eat more than if someone said this is what you're going to have to eat every day of your life, what would it be?
pizza.
Oh!
A traditional African food.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Igbo stew or jollof rice. Pizza? Really?
She's been here too long.
Well, I think Jael, she means African. Your best Nigerian food.
Well, what's your best? Yeah. Nigerian pizza.
Noodles.
Noodles.
Noodles? Aren't those
Yes.
Chinese?
No, actually, ours is called Indomie. It's like noodles, but it's shorter, and it
It's
has
a different flavor.
taste.
Yeah, like noodlettes.
Is
Is it in a broth or is it a?
Yeah,
like,
you can make it as broth, but some people prefer it as dry, some
Yeah.
a little bit like watery and stuff. But
Is
it's
that
actually good because it has its own seasoning. Comes with its own seasoning.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So were you eating those noodles while you were making all your phenomenal music videos? Because we were watching. So especially, you know what I love, and Sherry, you sent me this, the vote. The music video about get out the vote.
Take
You,
a
you
stand.
ladies took a stand, and none of you were old enough to vote at the time. But you took a stand. Let's talk about that, Jessie. Was that a dangerous move to be so politically out front in Nigeria?
Well, when we did the song, it was when they started raising awareness for the youths to go out and vote and stuff like that. So we realized that since we had a voice with the youths, we should do something to encourage them. So we did the song, which was really interesting.
It was great. I mean,
Yes,
that
it was
video.
fun. And then we did the video, put it on the internet,
So what happened? Did the candidate that you were endorsing, did he or she
Actually,
win?
we did the song because we're not old enough to vote.
Yeah,
so
right.
It was our own way of saying go to vote.
So it was a rock the vote.
Yeah, yeah.
It
So
was.
we're just encouraging people that you actually have to take a stand, like make a decision to get who you want into power.
I was just so proud of you girls for doing that.
Thank you.
You know, I mean, and yeah, our crowd was very proud of you too. But I think you don't have to do stuff like that, especially as young artists. There's no obligation. I mean, how many people do that here in the States?
Well, a lot of people do it now.
Really?
But
now.
Well,
right.
actually, not right now.
No.
People are going, really? Those are our choices? I think I'm going to move to Nigeria.
I just thought it was great. I was really
Thank
proud
you.
of you ladies
Thank
for
you.
doing stuff like
Did
that.
it go viral? Did that video go viral? Do you know? Did lots of people?
Yes,
Yeah.
we had a chance to perform it in one of the major cities in Nigeria.
Oh, fabulous.
And yes, there was a crowd and everything. It was fabulous.
So Jael, what's the the crowd loved it. This is the most loving crowd. There must be a lot of Nigerians in the crowd. Did you bring some?
Brought their own crowd.
So Jael, are you the lead choreographer? Because they dance like crazy dancers. Are you one of the lead? Are you the what's her name? J-Lo of the group?
Oh, well, J-Lo was the choreographer on your show.
I should have known that
You
in Living
shouldn't-
Color.
I was gonna
Thank
say,
you. Is this thing on? But are you the choreographer?
No, I'm the dancer.
I know you're the dancer.
She's the major
Who
dancer.
choreographs?
Yeah.
Either.
We both do our dance steps, but then we have like the central dance teacher who
Good.
comes to shape us
Show
up.
us,
And,
but Jael she hits all the steps.
She
Yes,
does.
yes.
During the filming of the 6 episodes, I mean, there's no way I could do any of the dance steps. It was like calculus the way you were dancing. There's no way I could figure it. But they were great. They were really.
Now,
really great.
can we talk a little bit about what the story of the pilot is?
Sure. Why don't you tell us what the background of the story?
Okay, it's about 3 Nigerian girls. That's
Really?
Starts off. Makes sense.
who come to who actually are discovered on YouTube and are invited to America to either make it or break it.
So this is a reality show.
Yeah, in some way it is.
Sort of, right?
Yeah,
okay.
it
in a way,
is.
But then there's it has funny stories and lessons you learn and stuff like that. It's really,
Yeah, what I really appreciate about it wasn't too sweet or flowery, but there was always a good moral to like an Aesop fable. There was always a
Yes.
good moral to the story,
Yes.
and I think that's what we need,
yes,
especially for younger people.
Yeah, that's one of our major goals to send a message out to the youth and to young people like us that you don't have to be all only about fashion and what's latest and everything just to be like everyone else, that you can be your own self and still be fabulous and
Well,
Cool.
before we say goodbye, what's next for you girls besides coming back here and doing 35 episodes of a wonderful show?
With your aunt.
And my aunt has a sister.
Or an older aunt. Or the goofy best friend next door.
Or the mean teacher.
Or the mean teacher.
What's next? What's going on with you?
when we go back.
Oh, yeah, you go
obviously,
back,
we
yeah.
go back, and obviously we're gonna focus on school.
Yeah.
Then I guess
Just life.
making more music
And
too.
making more music.
Yeah.
And you have albums that are out and for sale now, right?
just one.
And what's the name of the album?
It is complete again.
Complete again. And Jael, why don't you say goodbye in whatever Nigerian dialect
Ooh.
you can?
No, she's trying. She's got 52 to pick from.
I know.
Yeah, almost 100 and something.
Okay, well then pick the one you're most comfortable with and say goodbye to all of our
that
listeners.
Anne-Marie and I can pick
Yeah,
up
so we can-
easily so that we can say
so
it
we
later.
can say it too. Watch, just say goodbye.
Yeah,
What is
goodbye.
it? Sanjima?
Sanjima.
Sanjima.
Yeah,
Sanjima
Sanjima.
to our
Sanjima
listeners.
people.
To our people in Nigeria. You know, I may be from Nigeria. Do you know where you're from?
Yeah, my people are from here.
Mine are from here too, but I think I
Dad
got
was
some-
born in New York and Mom was born in Washington,
yeah,
D.C.
but our skin color tells us we got to have something in Africa. So
Absolutely.
I'm going to find out. Maybe it's Nigeria. But thank you, ladies.
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Thanks, girls.
That you're listening to LA Talk Live. That was Triple J Plus, City of Angels.
In the city of angels.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hi, this is John McClure Jr., aka Simply John, and I would like to invite you to join us on gospelrhythms.com every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our show gospelrhythms.com Talk Live Radio. Join us as we celebrate Christians around the world in all genres of entertainment, as well as highlight interest stories on men and women who are making a difference and impacting their community. So don't forget to tune in to gospelrhythms.com on LA Talk Live. And we're more than just talk. Remember, it's a heaven's party here on earth. So live life. Love God.
Hey everybody, this is Richard Carr inviting you to join me in the radio boardroom for the new Entrepreneurs Weekly Summit in my all-new day and time. That's right, the new Entrepreneurs Weekly Summit is moving to Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific. So don't forget, the new Entrepreneurs Weekly Summit, now Mondays at 5 p.m. Pacific, exclusively here on LA Talk Live, where it's more than just talk. We'll see you there.
Hey everybody, it's Miss R&B, and I'm inviting you to come and hang with me every Thursday night at 9 p.m. PST for Perspectives Corner with Rona Roe Bennett on America Talk Live. Hear and see interviews and live performances from some of our favorite celebrities and personalities in entertainment, sports, business, and the wellness industries. We're getting lifted and we're going deep, talking about life and empowering the champion in us all. See you there.
Hi, this is Kim.
And I'm James.
Inviting you to join us on our all-new reality radio show, Kick Your Assets into Shape.
Every Friday at 10 a.m. beginning June 29th.
Join us on the show that gets your money straight and your business growing.
So don't forget to tune into our show, Kick Your Assets into Shape.
Exclusively on latalklive.com.
You can also catch us on iTunes.com.
And like us on Facebook at Kick Your Assets into Shape.
Or watch us on Ustream TV.
This is LA Talk Live, reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure and more than just talk. We are your hosts, Kim
and James,
of the all-new reality radio show, Kick Your Assets into Shape.
Which boot you gonna use, babe? The steel toe or the pointed one?
No boots on this show.
Oh, man, dang.
Hi, I'm Renina Minter.
And I'm Delana Watson, inviting you to join us every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time
for our show, Sisters Seeking Solutions. Join us as we discuss real-life issues,
hot topics,
reality TV,
and current events,
while providing entertaining and encouraging solutions.
So don't forget to tune in to Sisters Seeking Solutions.
More than a show, a movement. Every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, exclusively on latalklive.com.
You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream.tv and now on Radio Flag and every mobile device.
Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
This is Sherry Belafonte, and we are here at the Daily Schmooze. I'm with Anne-Marie Johnson.
Hello.
I'm just going to give you like a little reminder, a little social media reminder. You can follow us on Facebook.com/The Daily Schmooze. That's SCHMOOZE. You can also Twitter us at Daily Schmooze LA. That's DAILYSCHMOOZE LA. And also the Daily Schmooze PR@gmail.com. You can email us there, and you can even call us if you want.
People still do that.
People can call at 323-247-7443. You know, it's funny because I see the social media thing going, and I've been watching the Olympics on and off. There's like sometimes I wake up at 3 a.m, and that's when the good stuff is on.
That's when the good live stuff
and
is
they just
on.
happen to have a whole thing about their social media. Obviously, Michael Phelps the swimmer was getting more Facebook hits than anybody until Gabby won. Gabby beat him for a brief moment, but I think I just saw something really weird. Like the biggest Twitter was badminton.
The controversy.
It was the controversy of the badminton.
Yeah,
There's like 300,000 Twitters on badminton.
Now we know why they call it badminton. Those people are bad. They're cheating.
Bad.
Speaking of bad.
Bad
man right to my right. I'm sure all the listeners and viewers are more familiar with the bad man than Sherry and I are, but we're going to get to know you quite well, is David Ravon.
Hey.
David.
What's that?
Well, let's talk a little bit about you briefly before you talk about us, because it really is about us.
Absolutely.
We are the most important thing right now, this very moment.
Indeed.
Forget about Obama's birthday.
The Olympics.
Which is pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
But it's about Sherry
That's right.
and me.
It really is.
Okay. So, but first of all.
David.
Well, no, not really
yet.
David. Not yet. But David, you have your own show.
Absolutely.
So how we doing?
Show's going great. Show is going great. It's a type of repetition improves everything. You know what I'm saying? And the more fluidity it becomes when you guys are just,
Fluidity?
You'll make up words.
That's a Gore Vidal word.
Yeah,
That's a
you'll make up words, and people will use those words.
Yeah.
They add them to.
We know it's a fact because Anne-Marie or Sherry or David said it, so it must be a real word.
It's like Jet Magazine. If it's in Jet,
it's in Jet. It's
doggone true.
I'm going to start using Conversate. Because I have a feeling that Conversate will soon be in the Webster's
It's
dictionary.
in Black Webster. it's the shorter
It's a little one.
Yeah, we're going to hell together.
That's abbreviated. That's
Give me a seat.
abbreviated. Oh, that's horrible. So what can we do? What can interview us?
I mean, you guys are doing great.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of energy. You got history. I mean, the thing is, watching you guys is to shut off what's going on. I mean, shut off who you are and watch what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
When you're looking at Sherry, you Belafonte, you just thinking.
What the hell happened to her head?
That's what it's so funny. I want to say Beetlejuice.
Yes,
but not because of the
wait,
hair,
you ready for this? No, you're gonna
song.
like this because Sam is in the house. My husband's in the house, but this is what Sam says. I look like the Predator.
Predator, absolutely. Yeah.
What's the Predator?
The movie
Never saw
Predator.
the movie Predator?
Predator versus
Predator
Alien.
was like an alien thing, and it had.
You never
this
seen
hair.
Predator?
Oh my god! Everybody's
Oh my
gonna
God.
immediately Google
What
search
is wrong
Predator
with
and go,
you?
"Yep, that's what she."
I don't watch, nonfiction. Real life.
Predator's the truth.
Is so.
Predator, yeah, that's a real.
She's right here.
Danny Glover was in Predator. How can you say that's not true?
It's just Anyway, I won't get into that because they're all very nice.
Some
people.
of us just have good hair.
Yeah. She's got excellent hair.
I got some excellent
But that's I never thought about that it may be difficult for some people to separate
the heat of the night from
the-
you being
yeah.
on a radio show. It's just one type of, but it happens over time.
Mhm.
When people see that you become big, it's like when Beyonce does a movie. You see Beyonce singing, trying to do the acting.
Sure.
Trying acting, but you can't help but look
Trying
at her
acting.
trying acting. It's not acting.
Is that a
You're
comment?
not an actor.
Yeah, right.
You're trying actor or
Well,
something else. You
but
become an actress when you truly believe in the passion of acting. Not I'm just going to do it because my record company told me that I can make a lot of money if I do this movie.
Well, that's very interesting because the three of us are actors. You're an
Absolutely.
actor. I'm an actor. You're an actor.
I know you're an actor.
You're an
first of
actor,
all,
too.
You are brilliant both in comedy and dramedy.
Okay, thank you.
When you took off your leg and took off your dress and walked and hopped out the room, I thought I was going to die. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's going to be on my tombstone. Don't make me hop after you.
We're
It
half
doesn't
a
matter all
tombstone.
the work. Yeah, right.
A half side tombstone.
It'll
be Anne Marie. The other part just go on.
Oh God! Yeah, and see, all the time when I go into hotels, people, even older people, right away go,
Right, hotel.
You want to be behind the desk, don't
The
you?"
concierge.
Like-
Now, were you the official concierge?
I was the official concierge the last 2 years.
That's right, the last 2 years.
First
yeah.
3 years, I was a desk clerk.
Right. Yeah, they kind of bumped you
And
up.
we shot the pilot in San Francisco at the Fairmont Hotel.
Oh, wow.
Fairmont
And
Roosevelt,
the
wasn't it?
Fairmont, well, no, it was just the Fairmont Hotel that was right up at the top of the hill.
Yes. Yeah.
And we were shooting live, and we would shoot from midnight until 6 a.m. because that's when most of the guests were up in their rooms doing. And every once in a while, there'd be people who were leaving early and they'd throw their keys at Heidi Bohe and myself because we were the desk like, here, send somebody up to get the bags. And we go, Michael Spound, who was the actor.
Yeah,
like,
I know Michael Spound.
Go up to it. You know what? That guy was wearing a nice coat. I'll just go up and check out and see what the bags.
That reminds me of years ago. First of all, I have to say, when I was on In Living Color, it was my job to imitate Sherry. so I had to imitate a few characters, but Sherry was Sherry. I had to imitate Sherry. So Sherry, on one of the segments of In Living Color, we did Hollywood Squares, which I portrayed Sherry. But we also did Circus of the Network Stars. So Sherry at that time was endorsing a weight loss product, which we will not name the name.
No.
And so the gag was I was Sherry. And they strapped me to a revolving wheel. And Tommy Davidson, who I love, who is he brought me on to In Living Color because we did a movie together, Strictly Business. And he said, when you're off in the heat of the night, come to In Living Color. And he held his word. Tommy,
very unusual in his business.
Very unusual. Tommy was Stevie Wonder. And he was throwing knives at Sherry Belafonte. So he said, the only way I know where you are, talk to me, Sherry. So I won't imitate her here. No, I don't want to do it.
All right. But this is me imitating Sherry. How much do I sound like Sherry? I sound exactly like her, don't I?
Wow, you're amazing, Anne-Marie. So I had to do Sherry. And I had to yell, Stevie, I'm here, right here. Losing weight every minute. But anyway, that was my homage to Sherry because she's iconic and good, the people love her. But
and 40 pounds heavier now.
Now being on the internet, does that also add 5 pounds or 10 pounds like regular television screen?
Well, look,
because you're a very in shape.
Well,
man.
I mean, I try to keep the little knots together because I'm 53 years old, so I try to look like it.
You look fabulous.
Wow. Yeah, hey.
Now let's not say black don't crack because we know it does.
50 is the new 50. Okay. You may look good on the outside, but on the inside, you
feel like 50.
And screaming.
Yeah, ask my knees how old they are. They're like,
no matter how I look, my kidneys are still
absolutely
50. Correct. I get it.
Catch disease you can't even explain. Like, I got athlete's feet. Now, how the hell I got athlete feet? I'm not even an athlete. I think I woke up and an athlete walked to my house and put his feet in my shoes, left my itch and then ran out there. Now come on, put my feet. Now I got an itch. Now you know when you're over 50, you scratch your feet. You do a lot of stuff while you sleep. You ain't realize you're doing it. Like you scratch your feet with the same hand. You reach up and scratch your behind. Now you got athlete's ass.
Now you know what? Now let me tell you something. I was thinking about hooking you up with one of my girlfriends, but you can forget about that.
Did she have any rashes?
Good Lord. Man.
No, you know what? It'll be out there.
I had to get quick acting to acting.
I was gonna say you hit.
Shh. Hit in both spots, baby.
Sherry and I have no idea what you're talking about. So we'll just leave it like that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So because this is what would you call this? Our maiden voyage?
Inaugural.
Unlike, inaugural. Very good.
Did I say that right?
You did. You pronounced that well.
I try to use it like a black reference, like inaugural.
That's a very dangerous word. You can really screw that up. In Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Nicaragua. As our inaugural show or maiden voyage, what's the vibe? What's the best advice you can give us?
Just the energy that you have, just keep it going, keep it flowing, and don't be afraid. Because one thing about regular television and terrestrial radio is that you got to watch what you say.
Yeah, well, we know that's the main reason I signed on.
Yeah, I know it. It's like you don't have to watch what you say.
You know how we're going to pay ourselves? I'm going to have a huge jar, and every time Sherry says a profoundly nasty word,
you'll be rich.
I'm going to be rich.
Yeah, we actually talked about putting in the quarter.
Yeah, we need a jar. Yeah.
We need a really big jar.
We need a big.
It's not so much the language is context. Because a lot of times context a rule where you can't say certain certain things, but you can go there on the internet, and that's what's so. You don't have to just come out here and just lose your mind with F words and dropping F bombs.
Sure.
But you can go there if you really need to express a point.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and not feel inhibited. That's the best thing about it, and don't worry about it.
Okay.
Nothing's
Don't worry about it, Sherry.
Nothing's going to happen to you.
As soon as they told me there was not a mute button,
right,
I sweted it for just a brief moment.
Well, it is a mute button, but it happens accidentally when we screwing up back there.
Now you're going to be our board. What's the official title? Because I want people to know.
Engineer. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I call it sound engineer.
A technical engineer.
Techno daddy.
Yeah, our techno daddy. You are our techno daddy.
Well, I mean, I learned from the guy who's up behind the board now, so I won't be as proficient in doing all the things that he's doing.
Our techno uncle.
Tech uncle.
Yeah.
But I'll make sure it flows and it goes the way. I mean, I've been doing my show. I'm going on the 59th episode. And thanks. And it was so funny because I said, well, Sherry said it. See?
Said it. Oh no, I don't think we need a techno
Webster?
uncle. Get the white guy in.
Well, she seated, and it was like I was happy interviewing, and then Richard said, hey man, you need to learn the board. Like, man, I'm not finna learn no board. Like most black people do when you get an opportunity to improve ourselves. I immediately fought that progressiveness. And then finally,
no, I don't want to learn anything new.
I came in and kind of looked right at the thing, and Richard was saying, "Sherry, can you sit in the chair?" No, I got to set the lights.
We couldn't get Sherry. Yeah, we couldn't get Sherry away from it. That is so funny.
He had a phrase he said was that a monkey could do it. And I was like, I bet a monkey can't tell jokes. And then I got back there, and it's like being the captain of a ship.
You feel good, right?
I mean, you literally.
Do you find that offensive when people say a monkey could do that? Because I'm so uber.
Racially
sensitive.
Yeah, I was like,
one person said the monkey could run the country, and I almost fought that person.
Hey, who you calling president a monkey? Well, you know that it was a monkey a few years ago, but basically
there's a baboon.
And he had a few years.
He had 8 years. He had 8 years in the monkey cage.
He wasn't even a orangutan. He was just a regular old dumbass monkey. Can't say
the A word. Huh? You can say the dumb ass.
Okay. You just can't say ass with the H attached to it.
No, listen, let me tell you something. If people who really know me, I have a very, very foul mouth. But I have to know when to use it. So this is the new
It'll
me.
Be coming out pretty
no,
soon.
No. You're not going to hear
What's
it.
What's the new you?
Not to curse. That's the new me. Oh, not to curse.
You're going to do this
I'm
entire
try.
12 years.
I am going. My sphincter muscle is so tight I can crack a walnut. There are words that are just waiting to pop out of me.
You know what?
You want to do a bet?
Witness here,
no,
right?
Everybody's
going to witness here.
Okay, it's a bet.
I guarantee you she's going to drop one of those.
She's right. She's right.
Hey,
I'll lose.
Probably before tomorrow's show.
No, probably within the next 2 minutes.
Internet radio.
Yeah.
But the thing was, he basically said that, and I got back there, and I started working it, and then it's like actually strapping in, for 3 hours, because my show is 3 hours, and making everything happen, facilitating, keeping flowing, taking the phone calls.
That's multitasking.
Interviewing people, playing the music, but it's
scratching
nothing
your
like
butt with your feet.
If you you learn to scratch, because we do chair dancing on my show, Yeah, you can do it at home,
Make me wanna groove.
That's right. Slide around. But it's just it's so much fun, and you guys are gonna have a ball.
We're looking forward to it because it's always nice to have good-looking people working with you.
That's what I said. We're not gonna get no ugly people.
No. And there's no offense to ugly people, but you know who you are, and it was a requirement.
There are no ugly people.
You know what? You are
just
right.
Unusual.
There are no ugly
but
people.
Sherry is completely correct. There are no
just
ugly
unusual.
people. Just unusual, unique.
That's what my daddy told me. He said there are no ugly people, just unusual.
Did your father say you were an unusual person?
He also told me. I told him I wanted a monkey. Back to the monkey thing. And he told me to look in the mirror.
Oh.
Right, and then I've been looking for that monkey ever since.
Yeah, well.
And then when he brought it back up, next thing I know, there's that monkey thing again.
Daddy didn't lie.
The monkey has landed.
The monkey has.
You're no monkey. No offense to monkeys. Monkeys are fabulous individuals.
Especially those squirrel monkeys. I like them.
Except at the LA Zoo. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago where the male chimpanzee killed a 3-month-old infant?
Yeah.
In front of everybody.
Right.
Another reason why I think the days of the zoo should be eliminated, in my opinion. But
there's
that's
a lot
just
of people
my
that are
opinion.
thinking
you know what? The zoo should be just a wild reserve like they have in Africa. That should be the only zoo.
Thank you.
And it should be no protection. You out there and you want to look at the animals, well, you take a chance.
Well, you're crazy. Now that's just crazy. That's
what I'm saying. If you really want to look at the animals, it should be on a fair, equal opportunity. They get to look at you too with the same amount of protection.
Well, have you ever done gone out?
I want to go on safari so bad.
Yeah, I've done a few of them, and let me tell you, it is really one of those things where Sam and I were on one in South Africa a few years ago. Actually, I was down there for ESPN doing a sports thing for them, and there was an elephant that came out of the woods and started charging us, and the truck driver, started taking off while we're like.
How much you charge y'all for? I mean, because the visit should be free. I think it should be.
They actually paid us to go down there.
There is no way you're going to see me beyond San Diego Wild Country Farm or whatever it is.
Elephant can't make quick turns.
Really? Talk to the elephant.
Really? Hold on, I'm going
this
way.
I think you need to talk to a few family members in Indonesia who've lost a few family members with those quick turning elephants.
You got to know how to turn quick.
We'll be right back.
Thank you for tuning in to LA Talk Live, reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we're more than just talk. Stay tuned.
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hi, I'm Ro Williams, and I would like to invite you to join GospelRhythms.com every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our show, GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio. Join us as we celebrate Christians around the world in all genres of entertainment, as well as highlight interest stories on men and women who are making a difference and impacting their community. So don't forget to tune in to GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes under R&B or watch us live on Ustream TV. We are reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is GospelRhythms.com Talk Live Radio on LATalkLive.com. We're more than just talk. We're heaven's party here on earth.
What is Ray-Ban Radio? Ray-Ban Radio is something hot in a cool way. It's like brand new, but old school. It's about everything and almost nothing at all. Ray-Ban Radio is something fresh, but will spoil you. Simply put, Ray-Ban Radio is an entree of hilarity in a serious souffle filled with stuffing made out of what's happening right now. In other words, Ray-Ban Radio is just dessert with high calories of real sugar that isn't always sweet, but sugar, it's always real. We keep it that way. Rambunctious Ray-Ban Radio every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Pacific Time, only on LATalkLive.com. We're more than just talk. Woo!
We are back. And we have David Ray-Ban himself.
That's rambunctious.
And you just talking about being a cop for 10 years in Texas.
It was Houston, correct?
Yeah, Houston, Texas.
You have got to tell me a little bit about that. That had to be different.
Well, I tell you, it was different. The things I remember the most probably, when I was a narcotics officer for 3 years.
Oh, man.
So like when the Ghetto Boys was making music, they was also making money on the side. And probably one of the most exciting things happened. I delivered a baby in the front seat of a car in the middle of the street, and he's 20 years old now.
Was it yours?
And no.
Because then it wouldn't be so outrageous.
I know. I had somebody running around there. I got delivered by the doctor. But, he's my Facebook friend now. So and they named him after me.
Ray-Ban or David?
You are hilarious. That would have been mine.
Ray-Ban Schwartz.
David.
Ray-Ban Schwartz.
See, y'all have to just change y'all show to comedy. Forget it. I drop all them taglines and all that stuff. We're gonna be talking about news.
No, we're gonna talk about
just
news.
Straight silly.
No,
because y'all hilarious. But it was a great.
My
experience.
father was a police officer, so I'm a cop's kid. You and I were talking about, and it's a very. My father was LAPD for 20 3 years.
Mhm.
Vice, worked his way up. It's a very unique life.
It really
And it's probably, when you're a cop, you love being a cop, especially if you're a good cop. You
Yeah.
love being a cop. You eat, sleep, drink being a cop.
Mhm.
So a lot of people don't realize the pain and the stress it is on the family because we're not there with the adrenaline rush. We're not there. We're just,
Right.
I just remember sitting at home wondering,
if Daddy was coming back tonight.
Yeah, and that's
well,
real.
You keep a lot of stuff to yourself.
Yeah,
You
you
don't
do.
even share. I mean, I recall once I was doing a case, another cover case. Actually, the guy who I was working with killed himself a couple of years ago. But we were doing a case, and a Colombian pulled out a gun. It was basically a robbery. He was trying to rob us. We were buying 3 ounces of cocaine from them, but they didn't have any coke. It's a straight robbery. And my partner shot him through the car and through me. It was just one of those type of incidents. But the next day, my mom said, I told my mom, I said, well, had a heroin last night. And she said, you know what? I felt something was going on. I felt that you had one, and it was on the news. And I said, yeah, that was one.
Did you think about backing off of it?
Well, it wasn't too long after that I transferred to DARE.
Really?
Where you teach
Fantastic.
drug abuse resistant education to fifth graders, and one of them little suckers brought a gun to school. Then I transferred to Iraq. I figured I had a safe.
You're safe there, right?
I'm like, dude, it ain't that bad. You're in the 5th grade. You're never gonna make it to grade
That's
school.
10 years old.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Well,
But-
it isn't that amazing when you think about it.
That's true.
I mean, my father was a cop when it was okay to be a cop because their weaponry was still better than the
Right,
street. So
right.
my father wasn't worried about someone popping him with a 9mm,
Right, and now with the assault weapons.
Exactly.
It's just
Well,
ridiculous.
that's something we're going to be talking about.
Gun control.
It's and you as a former police officer really get this whole issue of it. And being in the South, you were in Texas. Gun control in Texas and gun control in California are two completely
You're
different
born
things.
in Texas, they give you a bottle and a pistol the same day. You be sucking on the pistol and shooting your bottle.
Yeah. We were just up in Carson City, Nevada. Sam and I were shooting some stuff for a pilot, and all the people around there walk around. They got guns on their hips. And in this particular area, or Virginia City, they actually dress up in historical outfits and carry muskets.
Right.
But they're muskets that work.
Yeah.
And you sort of think this is just out of reach. Right. I think now Las Vegas is probably the only Nevada city that you can't carry weapons
because they know in Vegas.
But I think Nevada you can.
Yeah.
I think the state of Nevada. There's how many states? There's 3 or 4 states that you can carry.
Call
Florida, I think is one.
Texas,
concealed weapons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing about gun safety is so weird is because people, it's about fear. But you gotta understand the militias and stuff was established way back in the years when you was worried about somebody kicking your door in.
The Second Amendment.
And the only person that could protect you was you and your friends and everybody else who had a gun.
I recommend that everyone read the Second Amendment because the Second Amendment was all about militia, fear of the indigenous people who may want their land back, and fear
my people. Those are the people I was talking about. Right.
And fear of invasion of foreign powers. That's what the Second Amendment is all about, folks. Not about a gun that can repeat 100 to 200 bullets in a theater.
A shotgun suffices very well for home safety.
Yeah,
it does. It's the most recommended gun because that way, usually just jacking around in the chamber is enough to scare people out.
Right. That's just a sound.
That's all right. I'm gonna go next door. Don't shoot. I'm going next door.
No, that's the thing, because I said for a long time I was probably one of the few people that gave to the NRA and handgun control. Yeah. But my attitude was always,
you're not conflicted.
I want you to have a gun, but just don't shoot me.
No. I think everybody should have the right to have a gun, but at the time, like the amendment says, guns were muskets.
Yeah.
Right. It take a long time.
It wasn't an AK-47. Now, if everybody gets an AK-47, then have at it.
Now that's going to be a topic because me being a cop's kid, I don't believe everyone should have the right to a gun.
Yeah. Right. I don't need to tell you the truth.
No, I'm saying,
you have the right.
There's some people that just
it also says in the Second Amendment for lawful purposes.
Right.
That's the ticket. Everybody always take it out.
And what you think is lawful.
Yeah, just what is law?
And not the Zimmerman law.
Right. No, right. Yeah, a hoodie and a black skin.
I'll just make it up along the way because just me and him, the only person that can testify against me is dead.
And I want to talk about that because I know that you really spend some righteous time talking about
every show. The first 5 minutes is update of the Trayvon Martin.
Isn't that great?
And I'm going to do it until Zimmerman is put away.
And now, this is something that we can talk about in the future. But are we gonna see a revisiting of a riot in that certain part of Florida if that doesn't take place?
Unfortunately, what happens when time gets in between incidents, passion goes away. people just go like, that's messed up, and they let it die out. And that's what's so great about having internet radio that can reach everywhere, every country. You know, I had somebody call from Indonesia. You know, I had somebody call from, I mean, they call from everywhere to be able to reach everybody and say, I'm still angry. This is still wrong. But what we have to do is just be vigilant. So if it happens again, we'll be on top of it.
Well, this is what I recommend. When the hearing takes place and the jury has reached their decision, you need to be there live with LA Talk Live.
Hey, I would love to be there.
Because since you're keeping that flame, because
lit. It's just, I mean,
that torch.
I used to be a black kid and I was a cop, so I've seen both sides of this, and also it's just, listen, I remember a situation when I was a cop, but I was a rookie. You know, and I had an option of keeping my job or standing up for a suspect who was black, but he was being mistreated by my superior officer. What am I going to do? Lose my job?
The famous wall of silence?
Hey, man, I went and sat in the car. I'm not going to witness this.
Right.
I'm not going to lose my job.
Right.
Either am I going to participate. So when you get to doing what you're going to do, violating the civil rights, then I'll be in the car.
You know, something that I think it'd be great to talk to you about it in the future, Sherry. Geraldo Herrera got really ripped by a statement. Rivera got ripped by a statement he made about, well, you know, young black people maybe really should consider what they're wearing, you know, and the hoodies and whatnot. But let me tell you something. If we really honestly sat down and thought about that statement, not that I'm condoning it, but I understand where it came from. Because when I was growing up, my father being a cop, my father being one of the first to integrate squad cars in Los Angeles, my father knew that a person of a particular skin color had to behave in a particular way to survive on the streets of any urban city. And that has not changed.
If you look like a thug, you're going to be treated like a thug.
I'm telling you.
If he'd had on a pink hoodie,
well, then it would have been Chick-fil-A. He wouldn't have had a chicken sandwich.
Instead of eating Skittles, eating Chick-fil-A, he'd been fine.
But we have gotten really lackadaisical with the fact that we are still hunted. And unfortunately, we have to check ourselves and maybe not want to behave, not behave the way we'd like to behave when we're out in the street, because there's so many Zimmermans out there that we unfortunately have to live a half life.
I think that there's that desire, though, to make it all go away, not make it such a split that we, you know, I think it's a dream. You know, is it a dream that's going to happen in our?
It's the Rodney, Well, no, we can't.
Happen? You know, but we're inching our way. We have a black president.
Yeah, but look
we're going to have a black president for another 4 years.
Happening. But look what you know.
I know. You know, and by the way, I know. It is so. It's actually treasonous the way some people talk about our president.
Treasonous.
In the Senate.
And if anyone had I think of the Rush Limbaughs of the world, and it just makes me want to go.
Or the judge, the Superior Court judge, who yelled at you're a liar.
To talk about our president the way that people do,
purely because he's black.
Because he's
black.
Doubt.
And it's not because he's not. I mean, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
You know,
but whether you
mixed.
And he's not just black.
But wait. Come on, we all know. Come on.
Ounce of makes you.
Come on.
Still.
Well, you know, unlike my black, which is just like a little bit of black.
Sherry is like walking on the tightrope of
Right
black.
on the.
Well, hey, if you go back far enough, we all got a little bit of master.
All of it.
Little master hanging on the hen house. We all do.
As a matter of fact, they've said that our society now, and a lot of people who are, Robert Duvall did a movie, The Family Thing.
Oh, that was great.
You know, it was such a
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones plays his half brother, and you're just sitting there going, really?
Listen, in this studio, the only people who are really black were the Nigerian sisters sitting here. They are the true African.
They are true.
You know what I'm
African.
saying?
If they live here, they're the true African Americans.
That's right.
I don't even use the term African American. I use the term black.
I use African American.
Every time I try to go to the bank, they remind me how broke my black ass is.
I am proud.
They got programs for African Americans. They ain't got nothing for black people.
That's like Chris Rock's old routine about what's truly a N-I-G-G. Yeah, right. What's really a...
Which is the only word I don't use on my show.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. Anything else? And the 3-letter F word. We don't use that neither.
The 3-letter F word.
Right. Rhymes with rag.
Yeah. Well, we would never. I mean, there would be no need.
But now the one that has God on the end, now we would throw that in. We don't want to alienate nobody.
Well, I think.
See, I use all of them.
You do? You
yeah,
use all
I
of
do.
Them?
And, and people kind of.
Yeah.
But my attitude is they really are just words. And the more we just let them be words and let them fall out.
I'm telling you, this is going to be
and by the way,
topic.
I know and by the way, and it has come to back to bite me in my ass a few times.
All right.
But if I'm sitting with a friend of mine, that's then I
do you say it? Oh no.
But what's interesting is if I'm in mixed company, I probably won't do it. As often, unless it's the mixed company that are familiar. Yeah, right. Or if I'm talking to, if I'm talking to Mel, I may say, nigga,
sure,
right, yeah. But you usually, like you're talking about for the internet radio, for the transmedia that we're on now, you use it for effect for what it is at the moment.
It's all
I
about
think
the context.
what happens is most people think it's okay to just go out there and start calling people niggers, or calling people, faggots, or calling people. And that's, to me, that gray area where, like I said, the more you use it, the less hurtful it becomes.
Until people are no longer killed
because of it,
because of those words, or can't get a job, or can't get a marriage license, or those words will never be okay.
Or go free from actually murdering people. Some people.
So, but these are the topics that we, as you do.
In context, it's okay to use it. If someone said he called
do you
him
ever,
that,
do you
of course,
of course, friends? Not on the radio, but if you're in a room.
Oh yeah,
like
on the radio, no, it's different. But yeah, when I'm with folks, sometimes, hey man. Because sometimes that is crazy. That is crazy. That's a crazy. Crazy. I was talking to this crazy just the other day.
Don't be talking about me like that.
Well, you can say Negro, please.
Yeah. No, but please.
Oh, but you know what? Funny, because Nigeria, I don't know if it's true in Nigeria, but in South Africa, you and I would be colored.
Yeah,
actually, all three of us.
We are colored. We're colored here. Colored. Yeah,
and it's colored in a nice way.
Listen, before we
when I first heard that, I went, whoa.
Well, it's a compliment.
It's a compliment.
But before we leave, when I was doing In the Heat of the Night in now, no offense to anybody in the lovely state of Georgia, specifically Covington and Conyers and all of Greater Atlanta. But when I was doing In the Heat of the Night, they would usually refer the people who live in that particular area would refer to our show as the show.
Of course.
At the supermarket, they go, "Hey,
I did a movie in South Carolina. Sam and I were doing two different movies,
right?
And I was on the movie in South Carolina.
I just find
it's Landsberg production. I was on the nigga movie.
Wow.
And Sam was on the it was like the baby raping movie.
Isn't that amazing? So anyway,
titles
we love you. We love you in Atlanta, except for Hip Hop Atlanta, which we want to talk about in our reality check roundup. That is the most offensive.
But I could. But if you sit down for 2 seconds, you can't turn it off.
Oh yes, you can.
I tried.
I think it'll cause an aneurysm. That is so offensive.
But
you got to watch it because we can talk about it.
I called it accidentally, and I was glued to it.
Well, this has been Sherry. This is.
Oh my God! Is it over?
Almost.
Oh my God!
I know.
Look at the time.
This has been an adventure. And it's going to be an adventure that I hope lasts as long as our respective marriages have.
At least we know it's going to last till tomorrow because we've got one. We've already got one scheduled for tomorrow night.
Who do we have tomorrow?
Tomorrow we have Esai Morales.
Delicious Esai Morales.
Esai, he's coming in to talk. And David, we'll have David too.
And
he'll be sitting over where Richard's sitting.
We're going to have David permanently. We're going to have
and
David
we're actually
permanently.
probably going to turn the camera to him once in a while because we may want him to comment once in a while.
Well, I wish you guys all the luck, man, and
David.
success and prosperity with this opportunity because it's great. You're going to reach more people than you ever reached in one night than you've done in weeks.
I don't know.
Well, you don't know my old prostitution
hotel and
let's not get crazy.
Yeah, but we'll get on that on another show.
Prostitution, huh?
But we want to remind people that this is the Sherry Belafonte, Emery Johnson, the Daily Schmooze. We will be on Sundays 6 to 7 Pacific Standard Time on LA Talk Live.
And it's, like you said, you can go to facebook.com/The Daily Schmooze. You can go Twitter us at Daily Schmooze LA and the Daily Schmooze PR@gmail.com if you want to email us. And please feel free to call in tomorrow too at 323-247-7443. We love you all.
We want to hear from you. We appreciate everyone here at LA Talk Live for giving us this chance. We appreciate our Screen Actors Guild contract.
Yes, we do.
And we're moving on, and everyone have
I want to get one of those.
Everyone
and
have
you too can make $8.95 for the hour you're sitting here.
Mess my unemployment up. Mess up my unemployment.
Look for that union label. That's all I can say.
Made in China.
Have a great day, everybody.
People.
Everybody
We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.